All right, guys, if y'all need a distraction from everything that's happening in the world, women's basketball is your haven. Let's talk about day 2 of women's college basketball.
Quita Loves Sports. It is in the name.
All right, guys, y'all know the phrase. The grass is not always greener on the other side. Well, that is an expression that we all know. We've probably all been told that expression as a kid, right? It was like, you don't know, it's not always greener on the other side. So while those kids are doing that, it's not always, the grass is not always greener. If you leave to go to this place, it's not always green. It may not be better for you. Think about your decision before you make it, right? That is a phrase we have all been told for a long time. I know I've been told. And this is a phrase that is also the case in the basketball world as well. And this is a statement that Hailey Van Lith realized last year. She thought the grass was greener on the other side. She decided to leave Louisville, a place that she was absolutely thriving at as the starting shooting guard for her team. She had great stats, and she was fantastic. Nothing bad to say about Hailey Van Lith, because the system that they had at Louisville, she worked well in it. She decided to leave Louisville, go over to LSU, a team that just won the national championship at the time, a team that had a lot of hype, a lot of attention, and a whole lot of NIL money. And she proceeded to go there and get exposed basically the entire season last year. She tried and failed to become a point guard for an elite school, and it was just clear that she could not do the job of a point guard, and that is okay. That is absolutely okay. But sometimes you got to go over to the other side to realize that the grass, at least for you, is not green. It's a little bit yellow, and that's what she realized at LSU. She made the mistake of trying to be a point guard at LSU. It did not work out at all. So she has made the move. She is trying to right her wrongs and has made the move to go to the weaker of the Power 4 conferences, the Big 12. And she is playing for TCU. Texas Christian University. Now, TCU is a pretty decent team, I should say, in the Big 12. And Hailey Van Lith could go there and automatically get the starting shooting guard spot, and she could shoot her way to the WNBA draft. Or if all that fails, she has multiple degrees right now. I believe she has 2 degrees already. She also wants to be a lawyer, so she can go to law school and kind of do that thing, if the WNBA does not work out for her. But on to yesterday's season opener for TCU, where they beat Houston Christian. They beat the Houston Christian Huskies 78-41. And Hailey Van Lith put up some huge stats. That's why she went to TCU, to put up some huge stats. I'm talking 21 points, 6 steals, 7 assists. Crazy, crazy, crazy numbers for Hailey Van Lith. Now, again, the competition that they faced was not that great, but this is what we will continue to see for most of the year. Hailey Van Lith putting up huge numbers for a team that will allow her to be a bit more of a volume shooter. Now, the part of the reason for all the steals is because Houston Christian, y'all, these people, they could not take care of the ball to save their life. It was wild, guys. We saw 36 turnovers for Houston Christian. 36. They scored 41 points in the game. Yeah, it just shows you how bad they were. And so that led to a lot of turnovers, which is understandably. Also, guys, Donovan Hunter is with TCU. And if y'all remember Donovan Hunter, she played at Oregon State last year. Phenomenal defender. And she really is going to be a problem for TCU. She didn't score much, but yeah, that girl could play some defense for days. Absolutely can play some defense. And I think once they play better talented teams, you'll be able to see even more what Donovan Hunter could do. She was a really good defender last year, still this year, and is definitely going to be the main go-to person for TCU when it comes to defense. And that was partially some of the reason as to how, Hailey Van Lith and others got some steals. It was because some of the work that Donovan Hunter did early in a possession to sort of lead to a easy steal for her teammates. Now, guys, the thing is, you can't teach 6'7", and 6'7" is what TCU has on their roster, and her name is Sedona Prince. Last night, Sedona Prince easily dominated the game, scoring 29 points, 6 rebounds, and a whopping 6 blocks. All right, So let's move on from TCU. Let's move over to number 9, NC State, where the Wolfpack had a little bit of a scare, but ultimately beat East Tennessee State 80-55. Y'all, I continue to be impressed by the sophomore by the name of Zoe Brooks, guys. She had a very good freshman campaign last year, and she, as a sophomore, she is looking to really be a consistent scorer for the squad. And yesterday, she added in 21 points, including 2 3-point baskets. Isaiah James was also really good yesterday. She also mainly scored 17 points of her own. So now, while the Wolfpack win, that's great. But the team that they played against was not that great. And I saw some glaring issues for NC State that they had to fix. One being their offensive sets. There needs to be way more fluid ball movement and less one-on-one play for NC State, especially if you want to be successful towards the end of the season. And also they need to pick up their defense. The fact that it ended up being a 6-point game with 6 minutes left to go in this one was kind of wild. NC State was by far the better team, and it felt like they just kind of let up. And so they got a little bit close with like 6 minutes left to go, and they were like, oh crap. And they started playing again. So like that's a thing. Now, on to Ohio State, who took down Cleveland State 104-69. So as you see, Ohio State, they did crack the century mark, and the standout for this game was a newbie that was on my radar, but like now is even more on my radar. And her name is Jelani Cambridge, guys. She is 5'7". She is a guard who absolutely dominated. Again, competition not that strong, but still 31 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals. But wait, that's not all. She shot 12 of 14 from the field. I'm just saying, Jelani Cambridge is a fantastic player that y'all need to be watching out for. Absolutely need to be watching out for. After the dub, Kevin McGuff, the head coach of Ohio State, gave Jelani what they are now calling the Dub Crown.
Thing here. What do we call this?
Whatever you want.
Dub Crown. The Dub Crown. Jelani, great way to kick off your career here at Ohio State. Obviously, you had a great just overall performance, but you made people better. You made us play with great pace, which is what I told you yesterday you needed to do. So awesome job. You made a lot of great decisions, showed a lot of poise for someone in their first game in college. So great job.
All right, now on to number 16, West Virginia, who took down Townsend 85-41. Jordan Harrison is picking up right where she left off last year. She had 23 points in this game, 8 assists, 6 steals, and the Auburn transfer, Sydney Shaw, for the Mountaineers, added in 19 points. Guys, I am really interested to see West Virginia play this year because last year they surprised me. They really did surprise me about by how good they were last year because honestly, before last year, I was not checking for West Virginia, but throughout the season, they won games, and they were pretty successful. And they ended up making the top 25 rankings because of that. Very good squad. I'm really interested to see how they do this year, especially with some transfer help in the squad as well. So that's gonna be fun. Now, guys, the game that I highly recommend y'all put on y'all calendar is on January the 19th, and it is when West Virginia plays Iowa State. To me, that's going to be the true barometer about how good is this West Virginia team. How good are they? That game is going to tell us a lot. Guys, unranked Tennessee is off to a good start this season with their 101 victory to Samford. Final score was 101-53. Guys, this is a squad that really is a shell of itself as to what it used to be, right? We saw the Pat Summitt days where Tennessee was kind of at that top echelon every single year. Not the case anymore. They bring in a new coach and Kim Caldwell, and we will see what they do this year. But one thing is for sure. One thing that has helped out Tennessee is the transfer market, the transfer portal, where they added in 6'4" junior Z Spearman to the squad, guys. She led the team from the bench, who she'll definitely be getting that starting nod very, very soon, with 25 points and 6 rebounds. And finally,
5 seconds left. She takes the 3 and hits.
And finally, guys, we have the clutches bucket of this short season so far. I know it's only been 2 days. That's not that big of a time frame, but the clutches bucket I have seen so far happened yesterday, and it happened in a game that I think most of y'all was not watching, okay? It was between Houston and UT Rio Grande. Now, guys, this game, this team in Houston may sound a little bit familiar, maybe because we saw Kateri Poole from LSU. She transferred from LSU to Houston, and was going to play for Houston. But we did find out a couple weeks ago that Kateri Poole was actually going to miss the entire season this year due to a knee injury. So that's where we are. So maybe you've heard of Houston because of the Kateri Poole transfer, but Kateri Poole is not playing for the team this year because of a knee injury. These dang on injuries. There's so many injuries this year. Maybe I'll do a video about the amount of injuries. A crazy amount of injuries already. It happens every year, but I'll make a separate video talking about all the injuries that a lot of teams are facing all throughout the country. So Houston is without one of their best players because Kateri's out. But they still should have won this game. They still should win this game pretty easily. Not easily, but they should win the game, right? And they do, at least for the first half, until the third quarter where UT Rio Grande grabs the lead, and it's a neck-and-neck battle, back-and-forth battle until the fourth quarter, guys. With 23 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter, we see UT Rio Grande down by 1 point. They call a timeout. They drop a play, and the play, at least the way it played out when we returned, it seemed like the play was two players rolling off of a screen, and from what it looked like, the play was to give the ball to who I would consider probably UT Rio Grande's best player, or one of their best players, I would say, Cade Hackerott. That was the point, I think, was to give the ball to Cade off of a screen, because all they needed was 1 point. And she was rolling towards the basket, but there was some fantastic defense by Houston. Fantastic denial defense. And so Charlotte O'Keefe, who had the basketball for UT Rio Grande, she couldn't get the entry pass. She couldn't get the pass over to Cade. So Charlotte, who is a pretty good three-point shooter, she's like, hey, you know what? I can't get the pass off. Time is winding down. Let me just shoot this. So her man had her hands down because they weren't expecting a 3-point shot for UT, because again, it's a 1 point game. 1 point game. All you need is a 2 point. All you need is a 2. That's all you need, or to get fouled. And Houston was trying their best not to foul. So Charlotte was trying to get the pass in. She didn't get the pass. She couldn't get the pass cleanly without getting it turned over. So her man had her hands down because she was trying to anticipate Charlotte passing the ball. Charlotte decides to step up, drain a 3-point basket. Boom, it goes in. With 3 seconds left to go in the game, Charlotte O'Keefe drains a 3-point basket, an unexpected 3-point basket, might I add, on a blown play. And what happens next? Well, we possibly almost saw the next clutches of baskets. There was 3 seconds left. Houston had to go the entire length of the court because they did not have any more timeouts. And then we see her name is Gigi Cook for Houston. She has the basketball. She's flying down the court, and gets inside the three-point line, ends up doing a floater, getting a floater off. She hits it we hear the buzzer. And initially it's like, whoa, she just won a game. Or she just had it up, right? That was the sentiment initially. It was like, whoa, this girl just had it up. But upon further review, the clock did expire just before she was about to release the ball. So it was a fantastic shot by Gigi. Fantastic shot. But she didn't get it off in time. So ultimately, UT Rio Grande win a game that they had no business winning. Final score was Rio Grande 70, Houston 68. Now, guys, I'm going to tell y'all, these bigger games with these ranked teams, sure, watch those games. Enjoy them. They're very fun. But don't forget that there are some awesome games featuring some mid-majors. And my hope on this channel is to, yes, tell you about the main teams and what they're doing and whatnot, but also to make sure y'all have a rounded view of women's basketball. Not just the best teams, but a full picture of a lot of teams and what people are doing, because we seeing some great games. We are seeing some rough offensive sets in some instances, but we are seeing some good defense though. Overall, we are seeing some good defense for the start of the season. Guys, that is your quick look at day 2 of women's college basketball this season. Guys, I may end up doing this every day. What do y'all think about that? If I do this every day, where it's like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 10, day 50, what do y'all think about that? Where I just kind of do a quicker recap. This one is a little bit faster than the one I did yesterday. I'm thinking about trying to condense them down and not say too much about each game, mainly to ensure that I can actually put these out next morning. So what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Thank y'all so much for watching. If y'all could, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a neighbor, tell a friend about Quita Loves Sports. We are on our road to 30,000 subscribers. Will we ever get there? I have no idea, but I appreciate you being here. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
We started with 10 turnovers in the first quarter. We finished with 15.
Oh,
Here's the deal. We were struggling. Freshmen got us going.
really?
And our experience really helped us at the end of the game. Sierra with 2 huge plays. Kate and Charlotte, just money all night. Come on, baby. Amen on 3. 1, 2, 3.